Jake Paul, Andrew Tate, apparently it's happening. Nate Diaz just got completely skipped over, and a little bit more. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to jump in, break this fight down, if it's actually going to happen, or if this might just be a bit of a stunt. We're going to get into it. And more importantly, what you all want, what you all need to know, why I think Jake Paul or why I think Andrew Tate will win. One of them doesn't have that great of hands for a world-class kickboxer. Spoiler alert. Let's get into the video. I saw this morning. I was just about to leave and I see Jake Paul, Andrew Tate stare down. I'm like, nice Photoshop, bro. Nice Photoshop, bro. And then I click on the video and it's the Mac line and I realize, oh, this is real. Go check Jake Paul's Instagram. Oh, shoot, it's actually real. He says, and I quote, negotiations at MVP. So clearly, at the very least, this is a fight that they're talking about. Now, from Jake Paul's perspective, and likely Tate's perspective even, it would weaken their negotiating power to post about this on social media, show that you want it. But Jake Paul's plans have really, he's had a wrench thrown into the plans. For me, I felt like he should have fought Nate Diaz, then fought Anderson Silva to really build everything up, build the hype against the MMA community. But he's got a big name in Andrew Tate in front of him, and this is a very winnable fight for him. So Nate Diaz essentially just got kind of hopped over. And now we've got a situation where Jake Paul can't fight Nate Diaz because of that. There's a bit of a 2-month, 3-month little period where Nate Diaz can't really do anything, can't negotiate. Jake Paul wants to go. He's a smart guy. Sonny Bill Williams, a guy that Jake Paul did want to fight as well. Mark Hunt really just threw a wrench into things. I mean, I don't know if you saw this KO, but man, I kind of want to see Mark Hunt, Jake Paul. I know that might not be a big thing in the MMA community. I'd be a little nervous, but I mean, that Sony guy, he's legit. So like, I don't know. I thought that would have been a good matchup. That's the fight Jake Paul wanted until Mark Hunt got that KO. So now Jake Paul doesn't really have any options. Logan Paul seemed like he was saving Tate for himself. And then Logan Paul, as we all know, completely blows out his knee. So now we've got a situation where Tate, not tied up in anything, Jake Paul, missing some opponents, the Diaz negotiations, a bit harder than he would have thought, doesn't want to get caught up in a lawsuit with the UFC. So now what does he do? Hey man, let's stir up the internet. Let's get this face-off with Tate done. A lot of people are very, very excited for this. I am too. But the thing about this, man, I do want to see Jake Paul keep on winning, but at the same time, I really want to see him lose. I don't like the guy, but there's a part of me that's like, man, you have to respect it. He beat Anderson Silva, not a robbery. If you think that was a robbery, I mean, you're an idiot. You've never been punched in the face before. Man, get off the couch, go for a run, do something with your life, because Jake Paul beat Anderson Silva fair and square. That was a legitimate knockdown. But regardless, back to what I was talking about, Jake Paul, Andrew Tate, I give this one a likelihood of about like 85%. I think this will probably happen, especially if they're posting about this on social media. Why would you do this mid-negotiations? It doesn't make any sense. At least from my perspective, I know I'm not necessarily a promoter, and clearly this will generate buzz around Jake Paul's name. Maybe he goes out and does a little bit of a smaller opponent, whatever. But still, man, I think this fight will happen. And we look at Andrew Tate, some of his kickboxing, which I'm going to pop it up now on screen. Man, this guy, he has very diverse kicks. I did a breakdown on his style a couple times, really now. In one of my more popular videos, I broke his style down. One thing that's pretty notable about him, very flexible, but I would compare him to the likes of Wonderboy Thompson with less powerful hands and a little bit bigger. His flexibility, his ability to throw these kicks from different and his complex angles, commendable, something I really admire from Tate, and he's very good at it. He used it to great effect. That's why he was effective and successful inside the world of kickboxing. However, I mean, look at these hands, man. It's just not anything to write home about. It's not anything where I'm like, wow, this guy looks like a good boxer. To beat Jake Paul at this point, you need to be a good boxer, man. Jake Paul's good. He's made serious improvements, and I bet everything in my bank account, which, you know, not necessarily a ton. I'd bet everything I own that Jake Paul gets better from this last Silva fight to the Tate fight. I got Tate in that matchup. That's my early prediction. Tate makes a lot of mistakes leaning away and swaying from punches, and Jake Paul, with his body work, if Tate employs that Philly shell and the way he typically is employing a Philly shell, I believe Jake Paul gets it done, simply breaking Tate down with body shots, and maybe gets a knockdown or two. I know Tate has some eye issues, so maybe Paul targets that eye. We see Tate maybe get a corner stoppage. That might be my prediction right now, a corner stoppage from Tate or a doctor stoppage. Then again, doctors can't stop it, but based off the recommendation of a doctor, referee stops it. Right now, I'm leaning Jake Paul via decision or doctor recommendation TKO mid-rounds in between like 6th and 7th. But then again, it depends how fast Jake gets to work. For a guy like Tate, who's bigger, it's interesting, and Tate's going to destroy Jake in the pressers. I'm very excited for that. No one really likes either of these guys at the moment, and the presser should be pretty quality entertainment if these two do fight. So that's what I'm really looking forward to in all of that. But yeah, Nate Diaz lost out on a lot of money. But then again, his legacy, maybe it was saved a bit more, because I do believe Jake Paul works him, and I hate to say that, man. I believe Diaz beats him, so for that reason, man, I think Diaz kind of dodged a bullet here, but then again, lost out on a bit of money. And you never know, man. Diaz could have beat Jake Paul. I will never say never, especially what he did to Leon. I mean, you cannot doubt the guy. But speaking of dodging bullets, let's talk dodging punches. Yeah, that's right, I'm talking about the greatest of all time, Floyd Money Mayweather. He's fighting Deji, the guy that was in the background of all of KSI's original videos. That guy, the guy that's kind of made a name for himself, dominated FuziTube in a great video that you should go watch if you have not seen it already. I highly recommend it. I don't know whoever made it, but they're kind of a genius. Floyd Mayweather. I think, in my opinion, Deji might be able to survive if he toys with Mayweather, if he really doesn't throw heavy, just kind of like takes it lightly. Mayweather is known to put on a show, though, in these exhibitions, so he'll probably chase Deji down. I believe Deji survives a little bit longer than expected. Probably makes it into the 4th, 5th round, and then maybe it's that TKO for Floyd. Towel thrown in. But I don't want to see it, man. The respect, there's no ferocity from Deji, and I know you don't need that in fighting. Trust me, I know. But I don't see Deji picking up a win. Ah, man, it sucks, though. It really does suck. And for Deji, it's going to set him back a little bit. Maybe this goes to decision. If it goes to a decision, that's a fat win for Deji, though, I have to say.